Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to go over one of the most basic tactics in chess, which is the fork. Now we're on chess.com right now and we're doing 0 to 400. So some of these are going to be a lot of basic ones because, well, we're in our beginner's course right now. I am doing other videos where we're going to get to a bit harder, but here let's start with the basics. And this one right here, well, it's a fork for the king and the knight. Very simple. Whenever you're looking for problem solving in tactics, remember, checks, captures, and threats. And this one's very simple. We're going to be using that check tactic. Look for those checks because it doesn't get much more force than that. So what's the move here? Very simple. Two pieces on the dark squares. We have a dark square bishop. Here the bishop goes to d6 check, attacking the king. The king is forced to move, and let's go ahead and grab that knight. Bishop takes on e5. All right, let's head on to the next one. We're going to go for 10 today. Awesome. Another tactic fork here. And this is a very important one. This is the knight. There's two main pieces that are very good for forking. That is the knight and the queen. Why? The way that they move allows them to attack many pieces at one time versus a bishop or a rook. And, well, this one is done with the knight. Whenever you're looking for tactics, remember, look for those checks because, well, they're forced moves. Your opponent has to respond. And, well, look for unprotected pieces. Here we see we have the unprotected rook, the unprotected knight. The knight's going to be a little hard to attack, but hopefully you see it now. It's actually knight to d4 check, attacking both the rook and the king. Here the king must move away, and, well, let's take that free money. Knight takes on c2. All right, on to the next one. Another classic fork here. You don't see them too often with the bishop, but hey, they pop up every now and then. Hopefully you see it. What's the move here? Simple chess. Here it's going to be bishop takes on e5 check, attacking the king and the rook. The king moves away, so let's go ahead and take that rook. All right, here we go. Oof, here's another good one. Here, this one is going to involve the idea of calculation, which is the ability to look ahead. Now, the modern master can look 10 to 20 moves ahead on average, so many beginner players like you are looking maybe 1 to 3 moves ahead at the max. The stronger you become, the further you can see. And the way that a strong player is able to outplay their young opponent is because they can calculate ahead. Now, of course, as we saw earlier, the tactics were one movers. Well, this must be a higher level ranked puzzle because here we must make them walk into the forking idea. And actually, you know what? This one's not even a fork. This is actually just a check and a mate. Do you see it? It's white to move and win. All right, here we go. Here it's white to move and it's check and mate. Here I missed that the knight was covering the d7 square so the king cannot escape. So this is a back rank checkmate, which if you're interested, go ahead and check out my other video where I go over back rank checkmates, which can only be done with a queen or a rook. All right, let's go on to the next one. One of my favorite types of forks. Here we have the royal fork. What's a royal fork? A royal fork is whenever you attack the royalty. In this case, we're going to be attacking the king and the queen. And this is a hard one for many people to see because this not only is a fork, but it also involves another tactic known as the pin. The pin is whenever one piece cannot move away because, well, a piece behind it. Well, let's look for those forced moves. Hopefully you see it. Here the move actually is knight to c5 check. And this is what I was talking about when I said the pin. The pawn could not take because then the rook would take the king. Remember, in chess you cannot put yourself into check. So here the king must move away. But here we got that royal fork. We were attacking the king. We're attacking the queen. The king moves away to safety, but that's great. Let's go ahead and take this queen. Again, always look for forced moves with checks, even if they do seem preposterous or bad. A good chess player always checks the moves because, well, your opponent will miss the moves that they're not considering. All right, here we go on to the next one. Queen to a6 check, a double fork here. Here, this is a very popular move that you must be looking for. It's white to move and win. Do you see it? Now, this is a fork here. Black is attacking your king, but also the rook. Did you notice that? Well, here, remember, when you're in check, perform CPR, capture, protect, run. Remember, the most important one that you're going to be looking at is the first one, C. It's actually in order. Try to capture the piece first. P is protect or block with the piece, and then run away. A beginner will try to run away as soon as possible. Do not be that have that beginner mindset. Here, it's as simple as rook takes on a6. A very bad fork here for black. As well, the rook can just take, as we just saw. All right, 4 more. Here we go. Queen takes on f3. I see it already. Whenever you're trained, as me, you're looking for the next move to play. You're looking for pieces that are being attacked or a piece that was just moved. So here we see that the queen is pretty vulnerable because she's moved out so early. And the next thing you look at is, well, I want to move this knight. Now, out of all the pieces around here, why would I look at moving my knight first? Very simple. It's threatened to be attacked and be won by a piece of lower value. Here we see that the pawn is worth 1 and the knight's worth 3, so I want to move this knight. Now I look for squares to move to, and now I see the fork. Not only is the queen out too early, but hopefully you notice unprotected piece, the bishop over here on b5. So what do you play? Simple chess. The knight jumps to d4, forking the queen and the bishop. Now here white's most likely going to move the queen away, and well, the queen has nowhere good to move to defend the bishop. So let's just say the queen moves back to d1. Now we could play knight takes on b5, and well, we just up an extra piece here. All right, 3 more to go. Ooh, this one, I'm not going to say it's a double attack here. Chess.com is giving quite a few back ring checkmates as I'm trying to record this video. But hey, we'll go ahead and go over this one too. Here it's white to move and checkmate in 1 using the back ring checkmate. This one is a little bit more advanced because it involves a king and a rook. But hopefully you know the answer here. If you don't know, this is definitely a checkmate pattern for you to start remembering. The king blocks off the front 3 squares for this king, which only leaves the back rank available. So what do? The rook goes to c8, and it covers all these squares. Back rank mate. 2 more. Ooh, here we're going to make him walk into the fork. This is a very nice one here. All right, white to move. What do? Here, black move the queen to d6, attacking the knight. So you would look about where to move the knight to. And here, well, hopefully you see the idea of the knight going to f7. Well, this is just preposterous, right? The king will just take. Yes, that's true. Why did we look at knight f7, though? Because we see that the knight is covering h8 and the queen over here onto d6. So, well, if we can get another piece to control this square, then the knight move would not be so bad, right? So that's the idea. Look for a forced move here. Here we're looking for a check. We're going to attack the king, and we're going to guard this square. Remember, f7 is really important to us, so we can get knight to f7. Did you find it? This one was a bit advanced, especially for the 0 to 400 tactics that we were in on chess.com. Here it was queen to h5 check. The king is forced to move away. Now, I will point, as somebody might be asking, hey, can't the king move to other squares? You could have moved the king to f8 here, but that leads to queen to f7, check and mate. Well, here we have a family fork, meaning we're forking the whole family over here. What do you play? White to move. Well, now we could play knight to f7 check here, attacking the rook, the king, and the queen. This is also known as a royal fork, as it forks the royalty, the king and the queen. Once the king moves away, let's go ahead and take that queen. $9 minus the $3. You got a $6 win right here. Knight takes on d6. All right, 2 more. Here we go. And again, this one is not a fork, at least it doesn't start off with one, but this one actually is a back rank checkmating idea. This one is checkmate in 2 moves. It ends with the fork, but I would say the biggest idea on this one is actually that it is a back rank checkmate. This one is a little advanced too. All right, here we go. The idea here is, like I said, for back rank checkmates, is to try and get a queen or a rook to the back rank. But here we do have a piece that's guarding it, which is the rook. So one of the ideas that we have in chess as far as tactics go is remove the protector, or remove the defender. In this case, it's the rook. Since we have 2 attackers and they've only got 1 defender, it's very simple. We're going to go ahead and sacrifice the queen here on a8. The knight takes, and this is where we end with our fork. What's the move here? I hear someone telling me it's rook to e8 for check and mate. So technically this is a fork, but I would call this one a back rank checkmate. All right, guys, I hope you did like the video. Please let me know if there's anything I could do to make this better. But go ahead and give us a like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.